What's going on, guys? Robbie here, and today we're taking a look at Mega Bloks Call of Duty Atlas Mobile Turret. This set has 587 pieces and costs $55. I picked this up at my local Toys R Us store, so hopefully you guys will be able to find it there as well. Now this is from Modern Warfare, and it's it's a tank with legs. And it's just, I picked this up because it was fun looking, and I really like the stealth guy here, all in clear, and the two kind of high-tech dudes with the exosuits that you also get in the set is pretty cool looking, so I'm rather excited about that. Flipping on over to the back, you can see comes with like this little shield piece here, and of course the 23 authentic accessories, including the guns, the vests and things, and all the exosuits, which they have one in clear, which is pretty interesting. But basically it just shows you some action scenes featuring the vehicle itself, and it just looks like a pretty fun set to put together. So I'm going to go ahead, get this guy going, and we will check it out once it's all together. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright guys, so here we have our Atlas Corporation mobile turret, and as we always do, we're going to take a look at the micro action figures first. And so let's take a look at this guy up here. First up is our lovely Atlas soldier. He is sporting a a nice vest here, and you can see, of course, the Atlas exosuit on the back. This is a new piece for the Mega Bloks Call of Duty line, and it's actually really neat the way they've done it. So he also comes with a rifle. I believe this is an AK-12. I'm sure you guys will correct me, or I think it's supposed to be an AK-12. This is actually just like normal reused pieces from the Mega Bloks Call of Duty line, but I believe it's made up in a way that's supposed to represent the AK-12. That's the closest comparison I could find, so that's that. Anyway, here's our guy. He may be named in the game. If so, I am unaware of that. So, you guys, if you know who he is, shout out in the comments. That's great. But, I just don't have as much information on these guys, and I do apologize for that. But I do know a good building set when I see one, and I'll let you know if this is one of those. So you do get, obviously he's got all the articulation you'd come to expect with the Call of Duty Mega Bloks figures, but there's a twist here. So he's got this little backpack on, and this is a separate piece from the exosuit. So the waist bit here that goes around the legs is actually where the belt would normally go on these figures, and then this one actually plugs into the back. Let's see if I can get this off without just wrecking everything in the universe. If your power suddenly goes out, it's because I've wrecked everything in the universe. So this twists out. You can see it's got the backpack has the peg going through it, and then this has the little spinal bit, and then just aims up, lines up with the hole in his back, and then you just plug this right through the whole thing. It's got little cutouts for the armatures and things like that, so that's pretty cool. And this is a soft rubbery plastic down here at the elbow, so you can still get the elbow movement here, which is actually really neat the way they did it. They made a separate joint for that, and so these pieces are actual harder plastic that go from the elbow to the wrist, so you do get still full range of motion there. So really there's no hindrance in the articulation of these figures with the exosuit on, which I think is absolutely awesome. And the same for the legs. So the legs, of course, these are also rubbery plastic, and then on the Advanced Warfare figures, they do have this little tiny peg on the side of their leg that this one attaches to. So you just plug it right on there. And so then you still get the full range of motion out of your Advanced Warfare micro figures, but with the added bonus of the exoskeleton. And all three figures in this set have the exoskeleton, and we'll go over that in just a moment. But other than that, he does also have the vest with the little Atlas logo, and yeah, looks pretty cool. Next up, we just have like generic grunt guy. I believe he's got a little info display, which is neat. And he has what looks like an Atlas 45 pistol. I believe that's what that's supposed to be. So there you go. Really nice metallic red on the visor, and just nice paint pretty much all around on the head sculpt there. And the head sculpt's actually really nice as well. So you got that going on. He's got just a generic vest with some bits and bobs on it, and again, the smaller backpack holding all of the exosuit in place. But you still get the same mobility. It's still the same mold, just in a darker gray rather than silver this time. And of course, you know, you can still twist them at the waist as well. So there is that guy. And last, but probably most, in this set, you get a stealth operative here. And he is a micro action figure done up all in clear plastic with a kind of a pearlescent sheen over the whole thing. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. Looks really, really cool. You can see the head sculpt is very squared off, but it's kind of hard to make out the details just because it is clear. But it does look very, very cool stealth guy. And his weapon, I believe, is supposed to be an IMR, but again, I'm not 100% sure, and it is kind of hard to tell with the clear plastic. And he also has a clear rubber exosuit, so he does have all the same mobility as the other guys, but there is a word of warning here. These little pieces here on the elbow, from the elbow to the wrist, they are clear plastic. They are very thin and very fragile. In fact, the set itself came with a couple extra of these, and the one that was actually attached to him when I pulled them out of the bag, because when you pull these out of the package, they're actually they're all fully put together already. Probably out of necessity, just because, you know, it's too much of a breaking risk to have you put them together yourself, especially with this clear one. But the one that was attached to him when I took him out of the bag was actually already broken. The wrist portion had snapped, but it did come with extras, so I put the extra on. I was just super, super careful about attaching it, and yeah, I think I threw it out. So I actually have, they came with like 3 extras, or actually 4, I believe, 2 for each side, maybe. I'm trying to remember. It was a couple of days ago, so I do apologize. But other than his fragility, and you also got to be careful because it is so fragile that like the parts of the gun don't necessarily hold on all that incredibly well, so just be real careful with this figure. However, that said, this I think is like one of my favorite Call of Duty figures ever. Like I love the stealth, like clear plastic. I love the rainbow sheen he's got. He's so totally Predator. It's awesome, and the exosuit is great, and I love that they did it in the clear plastic, clear rubber. It's just, you know, you just have to handle it with kid gloves, so to speak. So there he is, really, really cool, and the main reason I bought this set, to be honest. So let's get into the set itself. Alright, on to the mobile turret itself, and you also, well, very quickly, you do get this little deployable shield. There's not really a whole lot to say. It's got a little stand here, and you can bring the top down if you need to fire over the top. It just slides into these little channels here. But other than that, not a whole lot to say about it. It's cool. It's a nice little accessory, and you get that as well. So the mobile turret itself, really cool little vehicle here. And let me talk a little bit about the legs, because I guess it is the main part of the vehicle. You can see it rolls along on these wheels very nicely. And you've got these legs, which are adjustable. They have ratcheting joints, both up and down and from side to side, so you can kind of make your wheels go in any direction you desire. Like, you can put them out to the sides if you want to have like more stability. You can also rotate the wheels at this axis, but for the most part, because of the tubes, they just kind of want to stay in one position, so it's better just to move these. I had a lot of trouble with these at first because you get a bunch. Well, I don't know if everybody does, but I got a bunch of these. I got like an extra whole bag, and you can hear this one is super weak. The ratchet is like barely holding on. That's originally what I had attached over here. And I just had the worst time. Like, it would not stand up at all. Because it just had that one weak leg that would keep collapsing. So if you have a situation where you get weak ratchets like that, I would definitely contact Mega Bloks and just have them send you a replacement, because if you get weak ratchets, the set just won't hold itself up, and it will just it'll ruin your day for sure. But they're really good about replacing parts like that. But luckily, I did get extra pieces, and I don't know. It wasn't in the instructions. It wasn't in the inventory that you get extras. So I'm not assuming that everyone will. You may, and that's awesome if you do. Just look for the ones that have the strongest ratchets and use those. So yeah, that's just my little weird nitpick. But the mobile turret itself, as you can see, you've got a lot of nice range of motion here, should you desire. I don't know why you'd want to put the wheels in like this. You could have it be, oh, excuse me, sir, I just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar. But, you know, you can kind of have it pointing out and then down, I guess, like this or something. Maybe. Like a weird octopus, and then, you know, you straighten these out or some such. And then, you know, you just have like a proper turret stand kind of thing going on here. But either way, there we go. And again, not all of these, they all have varying, like, strengths as far as the ratchets go, so your mileage may vary on that. But just get it to a point where it looks cool and you can adjust the shoes or whatever you want to call these to your liking. And the turret itself is free spinning. You can pop it off for easy fixes or whatever. You can see right there. And actually, while I've got this off, and we can take a look at the nice rolling wheels, which are very round, very bouncy, really cool wheels. I do like these a lot. Super rubbery. I'll plop that right over there. And let's take a look at the details inside this. So you've got the front guns here that can raise and lower quite a distance. You got little lights on the front here as well. Little, I guess, balcony area, little stand just to hold your figures. And inside you actually get some really nice printed pieces. Let me see if I can actually kind of get these. It's a little hard to see. But you can kind of check it out. Let's see if I can zoom in while getting this in the light a little bit here. you can kind of see what's going on there. You just got some different screens, and of course the controls here with a little seat for your guy, whoever you want to control the whole thing. And you may have a little bit of trouble with that simply because it does have you put this little peg in here for the figures, but they all have the exoskeletons on, the exosuits, so you may actually want to remove that peg in order to use that. You got a little bit of weapon storage on the side, and of course you can just plug this right back on and have it going like that. So little lights on here are kind of iridescent, just as the clear guy is. But overall, I mean, it's a really cool set. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. You know, the box, of course, shows you how large it is, but you really don't appreciate the size until you have it, you know, put together in hand. So, but it's a really neat set, and if nothing else, it's totally worth it for the minifigures alone, the micro action figures, I should say. So I am really pleased with it. I don't know if I'll have this one on display just because it's futuristic. It's not an actual like vehicle. But it is really cool to like mess around with, and just a lot of fun. It was a good build too. A little bit repetitive with all the legs. You know, that's all very much the same, but they kind of get that out of the way at the beginning of the build, and then you're left with the turret, which is a little bit more interesting. So if you're looking for a fun build, I would say probably pass up on this one. Find yourself a different one. They have really, really nice builds like the other tanks and the jet and things like that. Really fun builds. This one not so much, but it's a really cool vehicle. So. So, yeah, anyway, that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching, as always. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and, of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I've got more Mega Bloks coming up, hopefully soon. I'm going to keep an eye out for those new sets and try and pick them up as soon as I can. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.